What if I told you a power bank just came out that's thinner than your phone? And it still holds a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. That's not a typo. Let's talk about the battery tech making this possible. Why Euro? Because it's about to show up in a lot more than power banks. This month, a new ultra-thin power bank landed with a 6 millimeter body. Why Euro? Thinner than any smartphone currently on the market. Why Euro? And it still packs enough charge for a full phone top-up. The trick isn't clever engineering around a normal battery. It's a completely different battery chemistry, silicon carbon. Quick heads up though, why Euro if you're an iPhone user? MagSafe charging caps out around 7.5 watts on devices like this. So charging speed will still bottleneck on Apple's side, not the batteries. So what is a silicon carbon battery, and why does it let you go this thin? Almost every phone, laptop, and power bank battery today uses lithium-ion cells with a graphite anode. Why Euro? That's the electrode lithium ions travel to when the battery charges. Graphite is stable and cheap, but it's bulky relative to how much charge it can actually hold. Silicon can theoretically hold about 10 times more lithium than graphite per gram. The problem engineers have wrestled with for over a decade is that pure silicon swells dramatically when it absorbs lithium. Why Euro? Sometimes 300%. Why Euro? Which cracks the battery apart after just a few charge cycles. The workaround: blend silicon with carbon in a composite structure. You get a big chunk of silicon's extra energy density, while the carbon scaffolding controls the swelling enough that the cell survives. Real-world use. That's what silicon carbon means. Why Euro? Not a totally new element, but a smarter recipe for the same basic lithium-ion battery. This isn't just about one power bank. Higher energy density in a smaller, lighter package is the thing every hardware category wants. Why Euro? Phones, laptops, wearables, drones, EVs. If silicon carbon cells keep scaling up in production, you should expect phones and laptops that are thinner without sacrificing battery life, wearables that finally last more than a day without ballooning in size, and power banks and chargers that stop being the heaviest thing in your bag. Chinese and other Asian battery makers have been pushing this chemistry hard over the past 2 years, and it's now reaching consumer products at real volume. Why Euro? This power bank is an early, visible example of that shift. It's not a free upgrade, though. A few limitations worth knowing. 5,000 milliamp hours in this form factor still won't fully recharge most modern flagship phones from zero. Why Euro? You're trading total capacity for thinness. Silicon carbon cells are still more expensive to manufacture than plain graphite ones, so expect a price premium for now, and long-term durability data is still being collected. Why Euro? These cells are newer, and battery chemistries usually take a few product generations to fully prove out. Keep an eye on whether major phone makers start advertising silicon carbon batteries as a headline spec in the next year. Why Euro? That's the signal this has moved from niche accessory tech to mainstream. If you see a flagship phone launch bragging about battery capacity and thinness at the same time, this is almost certainly why. That's the tech behind why gadgets are about to get noticeably thinner without losing battery life. If you want more breakdowns like this, why Euro? The actual why behind the gadgets in the news, not just the spec sheet. Why Euro? Subscribe and let me know in the comments what device you'd most want this battery tech in first.